Hi all. Right, welcome back to Fields of Fire. Normandy campaign, mission 1, Trevier offensive. This will be my party, and hopefully we've got things back on track. um, yeah, I'm a bit worried now that some of the footage out there has not been seen. I'm rushing ahead here because I've had plenty of time to get stuff done, and I've been itching to play, of course. And I'm worried that I might have made some other blunders as well. But yeah, caught this one, and doesn't look like there's any harm done. Um, and as long as I've brought it up and I remember it, and we go forward from there, it should be all right. But we'll see. We'll see. Um, yeah. Okay, let's. I've not got an awful lot of time left tonight. I was hoping to be able to sit and relax and have a part, but like I say, there was a lot I had to do to get things back to the way it was, and hopefully it is back to the way it should be. So again, I've not watched back all the stuff, so I will go through it and see. Right, where were we? Well, we've done all our side of things. I think it was over at the enemy side, wasn't it? Sequence of plays. So we'll maybe just either turn this into a short part, or maybe just pause it, or if we get this done quick, I could move into the next turn briefly, maybe not completely. But again, it's when I first noticed the mistake, and then I thought, no wonder I've had things easy. However, like I say, the results were still the same, so we still have it kind of easy. Now we're going to have two only one. Yeah, because I changed my mind in the end, didn't I? I was worried about this carry on and enemy turning up here and just. Yeah, there's maybe something to that. Really need to get these guys out the cover, I think. I'm not sure. Can you move everybody out of cover? Can a platoon move onto the same card? I'm not sure. I don't think you can't platoon move on the card into cover. I don't think you can do that, but I'm looking for movement. Move a platoon to an adjacent card. Attempt to have a platoon infiltrate. No, I don't think I can. So, well, what are you going to do there? Right, okay, let's work out when it happens. I might not come to that. Okay, so enemy higher HQ event phase. Let's start with that. So we'll draw a card. We don't get one. Good. Right, and then enemy activity check. Well, there's no enemies. Hang on. No, that's right. There is. That potential contact marker is still right. Yeah, we should have 3. I remember that. That one, and that one. We're going to have a look at seeing what that one is. Oh, we didn't even find cover. Of course, we drew a general initiative of 0, so we had no chance of finding cover for that guy. Okay, never mind. Mutual capture and retreat. There's none of that. We would get a result if we got a friendly on that. I think we get to capture the casualties. So fire into mutual combat. There's no incoming. Where are we at regarding activity? It's contact still, isn't it? Yeah, it's always going to be contact because of the mines. Nothing else is making it worse than that. Okay, so it is contact. So for each card with a PC marker, right, okay. So we've got a contact to B up there. So with a card B at contact, we're going to draw 5 cards and see if we get a contact. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. I'll zoom back out again. Right. Okay, 5 cards. We're just going to lay them at the side. Oh, there we go. Contacts. So just skim through these. Make sure the shuffle card's not in the up. Right. So that was a definite. Okay, so we've got a contact on that card. It is a B. So I need the mission booklet. And we need to see what it is we're looking at. Where are we? Potential contact Bs. Right. Right, okay. So coming in from a strange angle there, I'm having to look around the corner. Right, okay. Potential contact B. So we do a D10 here. So we draw on a 10. We get. See that very well? That's the white. I think I'm okay seeing it. It doesn't look like it's showing up very well on the camera. A 10 is a 9. So we've got a 9 result on a B as a mortar team. Are we on the right one? Mission 1. Yeah, okay, it just looked a bit strange there. So it's package 19 mortar team. Okay. Stay with me there and we'll just flip that over. And maybe adjust the camera. There we go. So 19 mortar team. Place the PDF, VOF, yes. Are they spotted? No, afraid not. At max line of sight. Well, that's a placement. So we'll see what comes with that. And it's an 81mm mortar team under foxholes. It would be, yeah. The first time I'm ready to put the trenches down and they come in with foxholes. So okay. Right, let me get that. Well, why not find out where it's going first, Grant, rather than get all this out of the way. Right, so unit. Oops. Sorry. Me mucking about the tripod. That's what's going to happen. So unit placement. We need another D10 here. We get a 7. Yeah, 7. So 7 is left front at max line of sight. Yeah, okay, that's the one up there. Yeah, I was thinking it was the one that we were talking about all along. So left front max line of sight, and it's package 19, 81mm mortar team, isn't it? 81mm mortar team under foxholes. Right, okay. Right, I'm assuming it's that, but unfortunately the wording is on that, and maybe I'm being picky, but 81mm mortar squad. It is 3 steps though. And the wording was 81mm mortar team under foxholes. That's only counter I can see that references anything similar to what we're talking. So that's why is it not got team written on it? Should I go and look? Could this be something that was errated? I'm gonna have a quick look. Okay, some of you probably know this. I went and looked before I went and looked at BGG before I found out the answer. No, hang on. No, I've not found the answer. Sorry. Yeah, no. I thought it was on the other side of the counter. It's not. That's just it reduced. Right, I'm getting the impression that there should be a mortar team as well as a mortar squad. That might be wrong, but I'm going to have another better look, I think. Right, okay, I've got it this time, although still not that clear, but that must be a squad, and you guys in the know, a squad and a team, that's just one step. That's 81mm mortar, whereas that one is a squad. It's 3 steps. So sorry, no, that's the squad, the 3 steps, and that must be the team, although it doesn't say anything on it. And this has got a G. with the exclamation mark. So I'm maybe going to keep that post that I had open because there's questions about this, about if it gets a grenade attack right away. So I'll maybe stick with looking at what's been said here before I settle down. So give me a sec. Okay, I did read the thread. It was quite an old thread though. Guy was thinking that it would fire automatically, but no, that's not how I would see this as well. It's got a G, so it will have a grenade attack, but you'll need to obviously check that. It'll be something you'll need to draw for. What are we doing? It was maximum line of sight to the left, wasn't it? Oh God, I'm way. Yeah, it was, because it was this. This is a card. I've got the mortar team with the foxholes. That's 19. I'm looking at Korea now. Mortar team. Yes, the PDF. No to being spotted. At max line of sight, and we drew left max line of sight. 81mm mortar team under foxholes. Okay. So I need to create a new terrain card then. And I'm kind of hoping it's not going to have white borders, because this is close to very long, this. So we might run out of table space here. Right, where's my terrain cards? Right, so we're going to draw a terrain card up to the left here. Oh, it's a hill. Right, so we'll draw another card. Right, it's an orchard grove on a hill then. That's fine though, it's not, we're not needing to draw any other cards. So okay, that's fine. There is a PDF. No, he's not spotted, so we're not going to get to fire back at him. Now, he's on the card in foxholes. Let's see, he's only one step, he's got C to V, so he can fire from close range to very long range. That's what I was saying. If we kept drawing, if we drew whiteboarded cards, he could have fired from 3 cards away. So he's got a PDF now. Does he have a? Well, he doesn't have a VOF, does he? Because he's not even getting small arms with that. That's just got a G. So I want to say that he actually needs to. Oh, right, that's left me a bit unsure again then. Wait, give me a sec. Right, okay, I'm missing the obvious there. We do a grenade attack, Grant. That's what you do. So, right, well, we could do with finding that in the rules. No, hang on. Can I not just find that from the actions menu card here? Combat actions. Attempt to make a grenade attack. Yeah, this will do. This should do. So attempt to make a grenade attack. Right, it would cost us 1, but they're just doing it. So it's a 2-card draw, plus or minus their line quality. Is that where I need to be looking? Is it just a 2-card draw? I'm still not feeling that comfortable about this. Hang on. Yeah, I think it's just as simple as that. We're drawing 2 cards for a grenade attack, I think. Yeah, I'm just going to go with that. I'm really kind of burnt out now, which is a bit of a shame. I really spoilt things tonight, but well, that's how life goes at times. Right, so I'm going to draw 2 cards. I'm looking for a grenade. So here we go. 1, no. No. So they don't succeed. So it's a grenade miss. Yeah, okay. Now we're on board. We know what we're doing. Yeah, so I need a grenade miss. So that does go on the card. That affects the whole cards and everybody on it, etc. And yes, indeed. And we can't fire back. Well, that's the other thing, yeah. We can't fire back. That's the other thing you should have, is that on top. Because he's not spotted. Now, I said that if anybody spawned up that way, yeah, did they not talk about if they had spawned here, we would have been able to at least attack him, and it was up there. But to be honest, I think we're just as well moving that unit from the card. Well, it depends what happened to him. He is exposed here, and he's getting a grenade -1 miss. That, I think, only affects the incoming, doesn't it? I think so. I don't think that affects grenades. That might, that might. So that's the ones that, like, if you threw a grenade into the woods or whatever, would it? Okay, I'll just quick look for it. This is on page 36. It's talking about, it's 5.2.3, cover and concealment value. If a card has a burst icon on it, add the value in that icon to any incoming VOF in addition to the card's cover and concealment. Yeah, I figured that. I thought it was just incoming, but just wondering there when it was a grenade that might have done something. Right, okay, so I think that was done right, hopefully. That was the only potential contact we had, wasn't it? And we can't fire back at it because he is not spotted. Right, okay. So moving on. Pinned recovery segment. Remove pin markers for any vehicle or infantry units that are not under a VOF. There's none of that. So that's fine. Combat effect segment. So for each infantry, we're going to do a combat check here. So he's +1 for the Orchard, but he's exposed. It's an assault team. No, he couldn't fire at enemies. He's only got point blank range. So it's -2, -3 for the grenade mass. +1, so he's at a -2. Yeah, he's at a -2, so we're going to draw a card. A -2 is a hit. Not a good card. So let's see what he gets. And he's line quality. Another casualty. I've drawn three hit effect cards, and they've all been casual. In fact, the one I drew, wow, that's kind of creepy. The one I drew for the Germans had 2 C's on it. Every one I've drawn is a C. No, that's not true. We did get a paralyzed, didn't we? Yeah, we did. I remember getting a paralyzed now. However, well, there's no need to move this guy now because he's kind of gone. He is now this, and we are probably not going to be going there to kind of bring him out, I'm afraid. Probably just going to let that be, sadly. So the PDF, well, I'm assuming the PDF still stays. I mean, that's all you can fire is grenades, but, well, it's not grenades, it's mortars, isn't it? He's just going to keep doing that every turn. Well, he might get another thing to do, but, well, no, hold on, Grant. He's now going to stop firing, isn't he? So is that all the combat done? It is. He's now going to cease fire because there's not a valid target there. And that grenade miss marker will come off at the end of turn anyway. In the clean-up phase, which we're just about to come to, I think. So... Yeah, so we update everything and then move on to clean up. Remove the grenade, miss. Expose markers, go away. There's one in there. And yeah, there's one in there as well, isn't there? Yeah. With clunky fingers. We've got one down here as well. Yeah, we have. Nothing there though. No. Okay, so remove the exposed markers. Evacuate casualties. I think we've got... Sorry, I'm maybe not showing you. Well, not that you want me to see me taking exposed markers off. Did we not bring the other casualty down? Oh yeah, no, he's on the card, right. Yeah, I took him off once I came out. So we evacuate that, so that will be another point to us at some point. Another experience point. Then enemies firing at cards without valid targets, shift ceasefire. Oh yeah, that wouldn't have happened right away, it would have happened now then. So he would stop firing on that card. And he can't see any other targets, fortunately. He's got a very long range, but this is going to... Oh, no, it's not. He's on a hill. He had line of sight to here, and in actual fact, with his range, he's got a line of sight right down to this card here. Right, this is bringing more bother to me now, because I one of the big things I remember about this game previously, unless I'm away on some... Unless I'm dreaming this, I was pretty sure you had to always target the card that like brought the enemy unit into play. Now, I'm not just saying that to try and avoid, because the other bit is more steps, and this is what we were looking at up here. I mean, that would have been same card though, so that might be relevant. Well, we'll find the bit you were at. Where was it? Oh, I was in 6.0. Right, hang on. Okay, so it says... an unengaged unit opens fire with its basic VOF when it has a spotted eligible target within range and line of sight. This is automatic and mandatory. This may happen whenever changes occur on the map. For example, placement of a unit on the map while resolving a potential contact. So, we placed the potential contact... We placed that enemy on the map through resolving a potential contact. Now there was he could target. Oh yeah, you know what? It's going to be this. If multiple cards with spotted opposing units come into view at the same time, units engage according to the following priorities. The first one is card with most friendly steps. And if it's a friendly unit, it's the closest card. If it's an enemy unit, it's not the closest card, it's the card with the most friendly steps. That might well mean that grenade miss is coming in here. And in actual fact... No, hang on, a grenade miss does not... You know what? See, if it was right and it was a grenade right on top of that would have been horrendous. But I think the grenade miss just affects a card. It doesn't affect the actual cover. Whereas the grenade would. The grenade would have been fired at the cover marker. Okay, I'm going to have to go and ask this question. And it's a bit too late now. So we're only 24 minutes in there though. So I'm just going to put a pause on this. Yeah, I don't need to put... Well, let me put it back, just in case. I'll leave the PDF there, and well, maybe you've already took the hit there, Grant. Well, let's not take the hit. Well, we drew the card though, didn't we? Right, hang on. Oh, he's going to make a mess of this, Grant. Let's just assume that we've done it that way and that has come off. Now, if we've got that wrong, I can then put that guy back to an assault team, and then the grenade miss is going to go in there. No, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the two cards back on top of the deck that I drew. Yeah, I'm going to put it back. I'm going to put the assault team back. Where is it? I'm going to put the assault team back. The grenade mass. Now the assault team was exposed. And I'm going to put a PDF. Well, it's going to be a grenade. Nah, I'm going to take the grenade mass off. Because the card, I've put the 2 cards back on top. So when we... Oh no, I need to draw the 2 cards for the... So it's 2 cards for the grenade. And then the grenade mass. And then the actual hit effect. Right. I put 4 cards back on top. So that's us just before the resolving the combat effects segment. Yeah. And I'm now just going to double check that this is how this works. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to leave it for tonight though, but I will just join the next bit onto this. It's been a bit of a hectic night. Okay. We'll just have to put it down to that. And then maybe, well, you know what? I'm back to work again. Well, to be honest, I might have a bit of time tomorrow, and then I'm back Wednesday. I probably need to get more of these parts out there to you, because it looks like some people might watch this and might pick up on things that I'm getting wrong. So I wasn't getting that with the previous game. I wasn't getting much feedback at all, so obviously there wasn't as much interest. But I get the feeling I might here. And obviously if I'd released the 4 or 5 parts, there would have been a flood of things. Right, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, Grant. So, okay, I'll leave it for now. I'll be back tomorrow, and like I said, this won't be the end of the video. Just join the next bit on. Okay, cheers. Hi all, welcome back to Fields of Fire. Normandy campaign, mission 1, Trevier Offensive. This is going to be my part 8. I've been missing for a couple of days, go back to work. Didn't think I was going to get in and done this evening either, but what a chance. Because I thought I'd better get in there now and try and catch up on quite a few comments, quite a few mistakes Grant's made. Just try and get on top of some things. Right, where to start? Because there's quite a lot. I like to go through things. So hopefully I'll put a comment in the header of this, because maybe some people don't want to listen to this. Me going over some comments that I've had and whatever. Anyway, right, quick BGG. Well, quick. It won't be quick, but I'll try and make it as quick as you can. So BGG. I'm not sure if I've spoken about some of these things or not. So I might be repeating myself. Also, if I don't mention anything that I've missed as well, because there's things scattered about a bit. So BGG attached to my videos from Shania. Comment, yeah, they're going to have new mission books in Doc's version. They'll be putting them online as soon as they get done. I think I've spoken about that one before. Yeah, attack position. What's the need for it and whatever. It gives you experience points. There's also a pyrotechnic that you can use to use it. And this is from Colin, who's one of the developers too. Thank you for doing the video. Looking forward to seeing it on. Oh, and there are 50 action cards and a shuffle card in the deck. Yeah, I think I mentioned all these, to be honest. So I'm probably repeating myself there. Right, video 2, Shania is saying, sorry about the urban cover confusion. It will be in the mission book. Right now you just have to use the table on the 2nd edition charts and tables player aid. Yeah, I said that's fine. I'm using a mixture of 3rd edition rules and 2nd edition player aids after all. So it's not really their fault as such to that. He says, beside that, you'll find... Yeah, I don't think I've read this one, because there's quite a few bits and pieces I'm trying to take in. Besides that, you'll find the only thing you're missing is a skills chart. Just use the one in the old rule book for that, and the breakdown chart, which shows how the German squads break into different rated fire teams. Okay, again, that chart is in the 2nd edition book, the one which came with Fields of Fire 1, not the one in Fields of Fire 2. All to be included in new mission books, of course. Enjoying your videos so far. Nothing to point out as far as rules go. Well, you've not seen the rest yet, Shania. I've pointed out some things regarding rules. He says a rarity for Fields of Fire videos. Yeah, well, it's to come. It's to come. And while you say you don't really want to be explaining the rules, selfishly, I do rather like how you're showing off the 3rd edition rulebook. Well, I know I stopped looking at that bit on the tablet because I could view it, but I'm not so sure I'm going to be showing it. I've printed it out now. I decided to take that big step and printed all 96 pages out. However, the folder that I have, I think I talked about, it's only got 40 pockets in it, which means only 80 pages. So I think I've ordered something online, which was a wee bit dearer. I think it was about £6 from Amazon, which I believe has 60 pockets. So that's 120 pages. So I'm waiting on that come in rather than try and cram it into the other one, because then I'd have pages left out. So hopefully once I do that, I might be able to show it a little bit. We'll see. It would be nice because it's a now printed out version, but we'll see how we go on with that. He says the activity chart that you spend a lot of time scrolling up and down on will be on fold out Poya Raid in the deluxe. Okay, so good stuff. Right, what else we got? Yeah, interesting comment from Mike, who's just doesn't post sort of publicly, just sends me a wee message every so often. Hiya Grant, absolutely delighted you're playing this game and giving it the Grantos treatment. Yeah, somebody else called it the Grantos treatment as well, which is about right, isn't it? It's getting that treatment, whether it likes it or not. He says, yes, I've picked up a few new pointers, the fire teams and assault teams amongst other things. Great work by you with this beast of a game. Now he carries on. I am though very surprised that if you have used the terrain cards for the staging area. All. And yeah, well, wait till I get to my reply. But he carries on. Myself, I use a set of playing cards. Why, I hear you ask? Well, you're actually making the game potentially harder for yourself. E.g. in the Normandy cards, there is a church steeple or tower, which is great for your forward observer. By using the cards to create a staging area, you're effectively reducing your chance to 0 of drawing this valuable card if it should be drawn to create the staging area. Okay, fair point. Sounds very panicky, I know. Just because others do it doesn't mean it's correct. Start a trend. Very surprised developers have not commented on this practice because it undoubtedly alters the card distribution. Really enjoying the videos and we'll keep watching. So I reply, yeah, hi Mike. Yeah, I had to eventually get this going and just couldn't wait for the Deluxe release. As for the staging area, well, I can't really argue with you here, as I do make myself out to be a stickler for the rules. I do go on. My excuse is that I haven't even opened the other terrain cards yet, and as the rules say, that's what to use. And I says, okay, I'm being picky here, so I guess you could just use any old playing card, but it does say in the rules you use the terrain cards from the other decks. But I've not even opened them out their packs. I like to sleeve all my cards. I would need to sleeve them. Yeah. I says, you make a valid point as to why it should be done this way, but I don't think it is that big a deal. And if it makes it harder for me, then that's fine. And like you say, the developers haven't commented on it. But I said I'll mention it when I record. So yeah, he replied back saying he also has a terrain card seal, but he just uses normal playing cards. Yeah, I mean, he's got a point. I mean, the first point about me wanting to play by the rules, and I say that I like to play by the rules. Well, the rules are that you don't use these terrain cards for the staging area. And like he says, we could have a church under one of these 4 cards and we're not getting to use it. I don't mind increasing the difficulty with that possibility. I'm pretty good with that, and I don't find it a biggie, but I can't argue when I do say that I'm one to play by the rules, because Grant, that is not playing by the rules, so he's got a fair point. Fair enough. Right, quick rundown of comments this is from actually video 1, Grant, is it not? Yeah, okay. I won't go through all these. From Martin, a long time follower of my videos. Good choice, Grant. I'm looking forward to this. As you mentioned, the rules were poorly written, and despite this, they essentially copied them into Fields of Fire 2. Yes, indeed. I used to think that was the worst type of I don't give a until Didier Saipan came out and made Field of Fire difficult, seem trivial. He says, I believe the only function in attack position is for offensive mission pyrotechnics, signal options. Well, I replied, it does add to the experience points as well, which somebody else reminded me of. Yeah, he's right about the rules. I mean, you can't really say they brought out Fields of Fire 2, and I think everybody thought, I went and rushed and bought it because I loved this game, and thought, oh right, well that's all what the rules will be now. You know, good rules. It'll be a great rule book, and you open the rule book and you could set the rule book side by side, I think, and I want to say there was some little bits altered, but you know what? I'm not so sure anything was changed. It was just the same kind of rule book, really. But yeah, and he mentions Didier Saipan. We had issues trying to play that game, and that was after Didier Iwo Jima had been released with a not great rule book, and again it was something similar. They just kind of made a few sort of bits that looked like that was maybe getting changed, and just released it with a same rule book that's not complete, and the game's very, very difficult to play for somebody that wants to play it properly by the rules. You're left with, and unfortunately the designer actually came to us, asked for questions. We sent him a big bunch of questions. You know, Martin put them all together and sent them off to him and never had a reply. So it was a shame. Could have tried to help out there, and because I'm sure there's a game in there. It's something like this. It just needs the rules. You know, things you need to know how to play it. I know some of you out there just can play these games, and they just say, "Oh, I'll just do that. That sounds about right," and whatever. And fair enough if you're enjoying it. These are solo games, so you know it doesn't matter to some of you. I know I'm a bit more fussy than that, but I want to play a game that I can understand the rules and try and get everything right without sort of scratching my head and wondering. Up to now, this has been okay. Although we've got some mistakes to come to, but well, I'm sure if you're watching this, you'll have seen them. As I replied to him, when I go Fields of Fire 2 and skim through the rulebook, that I decided to shelf Fields of Fire for a while. And like you say, it seems others are using the same idea, sadly. However, it looks like the fans have stepped in here and rewrote the rulebook. This will put the game, and hopefully this will put the game where it deserves to be. And that's my belief, that these guys were fans of the game. Colin, Shania, and Andrew, is it? Yeah, I think they're the three guys involved. If I missed it, other people out. I'm sure there's other people involved, but I think they're the three main guys. I could be wrong, but I think they were fans of the game that wanted it to work. I haven't studied it all, and that could be wrong. It could be something else, some other reason that there. But I guess that's I think my impression how it would be, and hopefully that is the case. As I finished the Martin, I said maybe you should try the same with Didier Saipan. So yeah, he's not replied to that, but however. Yeah, somebody else. Oh man, I've been hoping you'd take this one on, Grant. I've been hoping to see Fields of Fire get the Grantos treatment. So there we go. From John Brown, another follower who's followed many of my videos. He's got timestamps here at the 25-minute mark. I believe the mortar forward observer is for off-map mortars and not using mission 1. The RFO is used, as you see later. Yeah, I blundered that one. I think I replied to John saying that I was quite surprised at how much I've forgotten about this game. Yeah, I was looking at the mortar observer. In fact, he's still here, isn't he? Yeah, that trying to attach him to the mortar section at first wasn't us. So it's coming back to me a bit, and it has been a while. And I'm going to blunder some things. Well, the default cover. Yeah, it's a huge blunder. A default cover that all German packages should come in with, unless they come in with a cover, and I've totally missed that. I'm gonna make errors. I know that. I know. I'm a bit disappointed to some of the ones that I've let slip, but there we go. He also says the attack position is military speak for the place area you gather prior to actually attacking an objective. It's there for organisation prior to the attack, as well as letting the leadership give any last minute orders. So, very good. I've had another comment from Charles. I've set this game up 3 times and stared at it like a deer in the headlights and put it back in the box. Maybe this video can crack the code. I'm not so sure, Charles. I just can't get it. He says, I play Carrier and Enemy Action Ardennes and many harder games, maybe. I don't know, his words are kind of lost there a little bit. But the rules were written by throwing a typewriter in a monkey cage. There you go, guys. Well, hopefully you've not done that. Well, I can confirm that the new rulebook has not been throwing a typewriter in a monkey cage. Yeah, all I can say, Charles, I've not replied to you yet, Charles. I'm not so sure my video is going to be the one to get you going. What I would certainly get the 3rd edition rulebook downloaded. Don't look at the old rulebook. You know, I'm assuming you're meaning the old rulebook when you say that. Get the 3rd edition rulebook downloaded, and it's far superior. Also, the guys they're bringing out. Is it some sort of training scenarios they're bringing out? So, if you're really struggling with the game, it might be better waiting on the deluxe release. And if you must have the game already, so just get the upgrade. That's all I'm getting. I'm getting the upgrade, which will include everything you need to bring it up to standard. I'll have the rule book and the mission book and all the bits. Now, I started playing this. I don't think I would have gotten in from these. I don't know what they are. I'm talking about something. I'm not quite sure what it is. I think it's like training scenarios that they've got, training missions and that you can get. When I write my reply to you, I'll look into it and say that. But then it does mean you've got to wait on the release, which they're hoping for the end of the year. But you know how things like that can go. Let's hope that is accurate. Okay. Okay, the comment from part 3. This is from. Oh. Why did I think this was from Andrew? It's got Shania's name at the top. Am I confused? Is it the same? Because I've replied with "Hi Andrew," because I thought it was him that posted the comment, and yeah, I don't know. Anyway, max line of sight for any unit is very long range, 8.4.3. Then restricted by weapon range. Spotters don't have weapons, as they're just calling for off-map artillery, so can place to very long range too if terrain permits. Yeah, there's no timestamps to these, so yeah, it's when I was talking about placing the spotter, I think, on the card and wondering how far away he could go. Well, yeah, if you think about it, he's just looking line of sight. He's not got a weapon, he's calling it in, so it makes sense. So as long as he can see the card that has triggered his placement, it can be up to very long range, because that's the maximum you can have. So yeah, so I said hi, and and also there's a comment down the bottom. Shania Dweller is a he, so as a he. Sorry, Shania. I assumed that, but then you just never know, you know. And I'm not sure you're allowed to. It's just the name. Sorry, it's the name that I don't. It's not a recognisable name to me, but right. Okay, I don't know if this was Andrew or not then, because it looks like it's Shania, but unless they're one and the same, I thought it was different people. Maybe it's not. Maybe this is Andrew then. I don't know. You're confusing me now, guys. Confusing me, because I have replied hi Andrew there. So, okay. And then he's also got a comment. Yeah, so incoming shouldn't have been removed until next fire mission update segment. I meant to go back and look on this, and I'm annoyed with myself about this, because I've done it properly the next time it fired. It fired on this card, but I think initially it fired on this card. Did it? No, I think it might have actually been down here, because I think the mortar was there, wasn't it? Mortar spotter. and then he fired down here, I want to say, first, or was it here? No, I think it was here. And then he fired on the card, his own card, because we pushed the assault team up, didn't we? Yeah, but I removed the incoming marker first from there, and I shouldn't. That gets removed in come the next combat segment, isn't it? Just the beginning of the combat segment. Combat effects segment. No, sorry, it's before that. It's the first thing in the mutual combat phase. Fire mission update segment. Remove existing incoming, and then flip pending markers to their active side. So I think what should have happened was that incoming should have still been there. However, there should have not been a pending. Well, no, then he calls fire, doesn't he? And there becomes a pending fire machine. No. No, that's right, Grant. The pending fire mission would have been there. Because it was dealt with in the enemy activity segment, wasn't it? Yeah. Right, sorry, interruption there. Yeah, so I think I was right, but I did remove the incoming from there. And it is relevant for a number of reasons. Remember, we remembered eventually that incoming markers block line of sight through, and units on the card with the incoming marker can't fire out of that card. So it's relevant, probably mainly for that stuff, whether it's got... Well, it still counts as a VOF on the card as well, doesn't it? So there's that too. So I must have took it away too soon. And he carries on with, the spotter is armed with a pair of binoculars. He's not firing anywhere, so won't cease or shift fire or place a PDF at all, as you noted. I eventually realised that, yeah, there was no PDF needed and whatever. So I just said, okay, thanks to that. John Brown had a wee addition to that, adding to what Sanjuro said. So Sanjuro was the name. Now I'm totally confused with all the names. I think that's just the, you know, you've got a name and then a real name and then... Anyway, so he says, for placement of the German mortar forward observer, if line of sight had permitted it, you would draw another terrain card outside the boundaries and or beyond the limit of advance. If that card also allowed line of sight, you would keep doing so up to maximum line of sight number of cards, i.e. 3 cards in normal visibility, away from the target. The unit that found the contact, yeah. Enemies outside the boundaries are a big pain, but depending on mission parameters, can often be bypassed. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, what he's saying is, I think we were here and the mortar observer got put there. But let's just say this card, no. Yeah, there would have to be another card here. Yeah, what he's saying is, you know, you could go further out. If line of sight had permitted that, you would draw another terrain card outside the boundaries. Yeah, that's right. So if this had been, I think this is where we got placed. Let's just say he had white borders around him. Then we would have placed another card here. And then if that had white borders around him, we would have placed another card away up here. So then he could fire 1, 2, 3 at very long range. Well, he's not firing. He can see that long though. That's his range. He just needs a line of sight. And when he gets line of sight, he can call fire at very long range. So thanks for that, John. And for Janaya, Andrew, or both of you, or whatever. Okay. Yeah, so video 4, I've got quite a few comments because this is where things start going a little bit wrong. I forget about the trenches, don't I? I forget about the default cover, which causes a lot of bother, and then I forget to open fire with the units from here up to the hill. I'm trying to make fixes to some of this. The fire that I missed, I can't do anything about. There's also another stupid blunder I don't think I'm going to do anything about. The other bits, I've actually got quite lucky and some of the results turn out to be the same, which I'll get to in a minute. When I look at my comments, yeah, I should just be looking at them. So, a couple of comments from here. John Brown, I think moving the assault team forward to the same cards as mortar spotter is a smart move. Now he's going to call mortar fire on his own card, possibly hunting himself, but also possibly hunting your assault team. He also, yeah, and that's when I moved that up to there. Realised that he was going to fire on his own card by doing that. So yeah, it was. I mean, I think if I didn't do that, it was going to fire on me sitting there. So it maybe made some sense anyway. At least maybe take him. Well, I think we pinned him, didn't we, when it happened? He says, and in general, you want to keep the activity level as high as possible and minimise the number of cards for potential contact draws. Yeah, absolutely. If we are both on the same card and there's a VOF on the card, then that can possibly bring on heavily engaged, which needs to have friendly and enemy on the same card. So good point there. Yeah, an hour and 8 minute mark. He says, also don't forget that activity level card only lists friendly occupied, but the actual rules mention friendly or enemy occupied. So I think you would be heavily engaged at this point. That's at an hour and 8 minutes. I wouldn't mind having a look at that actually. I just checked that bit, John. I don't think so. I think I maybe talked about it. I'm not sure. But I looked at the state of the board at the time. Now, I came to the conclusion that the mines on this card, and assuming you would have to be counting that, because the only other VOF is the one that's on the card with a friendly and an enemy unit. So that counts as one card occupied by a VOF, whether it's friendly or enemy. I mean, unless you're saying that counts for two. No, because that's one card. So I'm assuming the only other card you could have been counting would have been this. I know we've got the enemy and friendly part of heavily engaged, but I think we only had one card with a VOF on it. Well, not one card with a VOF that we've got units on. This counts as a VOF, I agree, but there was no units on that card at the time. So I concluded that. So I've not replied to that yet, so I'll say that to you and you can come back and let me know if you think that that's wrong, and we can take that a bit further maybe. Right, and from Shania again, I'm confused. Maybe there must just be the two yous, guys. It's just you're got this different name, I think. I don't know. I don't know. If you're watching this, I'm sure somebody will straighten it out for me. I kind of thought there was 3 years, but maybe not. Okay, so the concept is, and again, no timestamp. I'm going to have to say it to you guys. Put a timestamp down so it makes it easier for me. But it depends what he's talking about. It could be. So the concept is the spotter is deep in his trench. He's got in brackets or should be. Okay. I know he should be in a trench. So while somewhat desperate, calling fire on itself is a valid, not quite suicidal move. Much more likely to hit the silly US assault team wandering about exposed, and quite a bit safer than waiting to be spotted. Fair point. So he's happy to call fire down on himself because he's sitting in his trench, or he should be sitting in his trench. And then obviously the assault teams came on exposed, so he's more likely to get hit. There you go. Well, John, there you go. I think that's the same bit you're talking about. He says, yes, you're at contact right now. One occupied card with a VOF. The mines just means it won't reduce to no contact. Unless this is talking about a different bit. I think so. Because engage needs 2 cards. And heavily engaged needs 2 cards and enemy and friendlies together. And when I say 2 cards, I mean units on it with a VOF. This one didn't have units on it. Although it's got a VOF, it's not got units. So that's what he's saying there. The mines just means it won't reduce to no contact. He says you reveal the mines, activity increases to contact, and won't ever drop to no contact for the rest of the mission. Well, eventually I worked that one out, didn't I? When the pending marker flips, there will still only be 1 occupied card under a VOF, so still at contact. Yeah, that's how I see it as well. So hopefully John's maybe read that, because it sounds like that's that sounds like that's answering the question. I haven't replied to them yet. I'll get to it, guys, hopefully, because there's been quite a lot thrown at me and I'm trying to catch up. Okay, so that's up to date with that stuff. Now that was up to part 5. I only released part 5 not that long ago, so I've got to give a chance for people to maybe, they might still want to respond to that. Because it starts off, part 5 starts off with my comment, my, this is a messy part. So just glancing over part 4, my notes there though, just in case, again, I might have talked about these already. I've got these timestamp. I won't read that. If you look at the comments in the header of the video, you'll see where they are. Veterans can save 9 commands per in a normal day conditions. Yeah, I have read these out, haven't I? Yeah, I've got notes saying this should be when my units should started firing from here to here. Notice the mistake. That is one thing I can't go back and fix. So that squad should have got fired upon sooner than it did. Let's just say we only needed the one shot to like deal with the squad pretty much. Even the fact that it should have been under trenches, actually that ended up being the same result as well, which I'll get to. Right, so my notes are quite about part 5 here, so let's just quickly go over them and then I'll be done, and that'll be 30 minutes. Yeah, first one. Well, things have moved on. Part 5, we moved from here to here. There was no cover in the... There was no... yeah, I've noticed I want to keep saying hex. And I said it once, I noticed. I was going to make a comment, I thought I'll just leave it. I want to keep saying hex. I'm more used to playing on hexes, I suppose, but they're cards this time, Grant. So I keep wanting to say it and stop myself, but I didn't that one time. Anyway, there was no cover on this card. So I moved all the units into it. A platoon moved in, decided to spend one more point to seek for cover, found the cover and put all the units under the cover marker. Well, that's not how it works. It's like one unit gets it's not a platoon seek cover. Now if there's a cover marker there, you can platoon move into it. And I always wondered about that one, but I'm pretty sure that's right. You can't just put everybody under the cover, but I always felt like it was a bit, that's a bit annoying. You can only put one guy under the cover. You brought a whole platoon on the card. But the other thing is, you know, I've been taking risks with putting things under the cover, and it's going to bite me in the bum sometime. You know, when I've got all these steps under a cover marker, well, almost did. If it hadn't been for the incoming on that card, that squad would have been shooting down to here, wouldn't it? And, well, actually, that's the time they shouldn't have been under the cover, I think. Well, anyway. So I'm not sure if I can go and fix that one or not. It was... yeah, I need to look. Basically, I'm going to look at part 6 of the video and see if there's any. What I thought I might be able to do is, I think it's 3rd platoon. I thought about removing a command for them, which I could do now. They've got one saved. Because what should have happened is, I searched for cover, I found it. And let's just say we put the platoon HQ under it, right? Because we can only put one unit under it. So we put him under it just to put him in cover, and so that he gets the benefit of the extra command. It kind of makes it kind of pointless, because he's then got to come out of the cover to then command the units that are on the card, because he needs to come out the cover to verbally speak to them. So it kind of defeats the purpose a little bit. But what that should have meant was it was going to cost them an extra move to do that. I wonder if I could just remove that third. I'm going to do that now, and that should fix that. I mean, I haven't looked back in the video yet, but it's just they shouldn't have all been under the cover, and I did draw the card for it. I mean, you could just say somebody else was sitting under the cover, Grant. If I do that and remove that saved command for them, we could say that the platoon HQ, 3rd platoon HQ, had went, seat cover, found it, and he had moved under it. And then when it come to the next activation of 3rd platoon HQ, he would have spent one command to come out from under the cover. So that's the one that I'm taking away just now, and then give his orders. You know, I could just leave it, but it was, you know, I wouldn't have done the seat for cover anyway, because it's kind of pointless if one just going under it. So, no, you know what? I'm going to take that command back, actually. Because that kind of like, I wouldn't have done it in the first place. So I actually spent an extra command doing that, which is kind of pointless. So, right, interruption there again. So I was talking about the cover thing. I think I'm just going to leave that one. It was wrong. I've noted it. I don't think it would have affected any fire. It might have affected a command here or there. But I think what I would have done was I wouldn't have spent the command. So in actual fact, I think should be one command better off, because it's kind of pointless putting one unit under the cover there. They weren't under a threat as well. I just don't know, decided that was allowed, that I could seek cover and they would all go under the cover. But there you go. Okay, moving on, because we're at 33 minutes. Oh dear. Right, an hour and 4 minutes. Right, and this is where I make a right mess of things. So I've got this time stamped in the video, but let me just try and explain myself. Okay, I've got a new printer set up. Decided to print out the whole rule book. There it is over there, and it's sitting over there. I think I already mentioned this, so I haven't. And I've got a folder, but I've ordered another one that takes 60 pages, and that should fit the full rule book. And I use my new printer, and it looks great. And I reprinted out this, and I've laminated this. This is enemy activity checks. So I laminated that, and I printed out another sequence of play, laminated that. So we're getting going here. Because it isn't going to be to the end of the year. I'm going to get the rule book, and it's going to drive me nuts. Keep looking through the PDF. So anyway, right. So I make a mess of this. What we're talking about, it's looking at the squad. Is it the squad? Yeah. So looking at the squad initially that's up here, and my first look at the enemy activity check hierarchy, and I make a right mess of it. So I'm looking here and I'm saying, right, which one is it? And I got to, what did I decide it was? Not under fire, but it has a valid target along PDF. Yeah, this is the one I decided it is, right? And I'm looking here and I'm saying, right, which one is it? And sorry, I should get that in as well. There's the defensive tactics. You've got delayed, hasty, or deliberate, right? We're deliberate, right? So it's this column here I'm looking on. However, I'm not getting this, am I? And I have played this game before, right? It has been a while. So I'm looking here, I'm trying to find the right instruction. Not under fire, has valid target along with PDF. I decide that's the right one, but there's a problem with that, because there's two things wrong with that. One is under trenches, and the other one is we're actually trading fire at the time. We'll get to that in a minute. So not under fire, but has valid target along PDF. And I'm looking at that, I'm like, how do I decide what card do I draw? What do I need? And I look here, right, 1 to 2 out of 3 is going to be no action, and 3 out of 3 is going to be a grenade attack. Well, this is for delayed, Grant, and this is for hasty. This is for deliberate right here. So if you've got deliberate, and if that was the instruction, you're not drawing any cards at all. This is not applicable. The no action is not applicable. It's an automatic result, no drawing cards, of grenade attack, concentrate fire. So that's an automatic result. Right, and then that jumps on. Well, let me jump to that bit as well, because while I'm talking about that, I also then decide that it becomes a concentrate fire, because the grenade attack would have to be on the same card. So fair enough, it's a concentrate fire. Where am I? This one, sorry. And then I decide that because this is auto, I don't need to draw cards for this. Well, my belief is that all that's wrong. The auto is the success of the actual activity check. So I don't need to draw cards to see what the activity check is going to result in. It's going to be automatic, right? And then we're going to look at that, so we're going to say, right, concentrate fire. And then I should have drawn cards for the concentrate fire. So what I done was gave it an automatic concentrate fire, and I think that's wrong. If for some reason it was right, then let me know, but I don't think so. I think the auto means here. It doesn't mean that it's an automatic, because because there you go. There. Look at that one there. It says auto And then attempt, oh, that does say attempt, and it doesn't say attempt there, does it? Do you have that wrong? Is that auto? Am I getting that wrong? And no, I don't think so, because even here, auto, remove unit, that's just whatever you're on. If you're under that condition, you don't need to draw cards for it. It's just an automatic that. Yeah, so I think I've done that wrong. Okay, so going back to the situation though, we should not have been looking at not under fire as a valid target along the PDF, because what was happening was we had unit. Now I didn't do this because I'd blundered this, right? But what we should have been looking at, and that's what I tried to see if I could check to see if it was any different. These units should have been firing at each other, so we should have been trading fire, and they should have been firing us with small arms. We would have been firing at them with automatic weapons. So we had the better NCM. So the actual activity that we should have been doing for the enemy, which I understand I missed this because I missed the actual fact that these were able to shoot, was the very bottom one, which is trading fire. An NCM of units VOF is equal to or worse, higher than the best opposing units. So, because like I say, they had a 0 on us, we had a -1 on them. So they should have been doing that. The card we drew was, I think I've wrote this down. I know this is maybe going too far. So I said, fortunately, the D2 result for this would have been the same, concentrate fire. So it would have still ended up with the same thing, concentrate fire. And yeah, you see, there's no auto there. So that is, you've got to attempt that. It's not just an automatic. Don't think so anyway. I think I've still got to attempt it. It does bother me that it says attempt to concentrate fire there, and it doesn't there. Is it just because it's got grenade attack in there maybe? And just the extra word is going to make that, I think that's maybe what it is. It's because it's going to, there's not enough space to put attempt concentrate fire, maybe. Okay, so the result was the same. It would have been the same. So we kind of got away with it, although it was a bit of a mess. Right, at the 1 minute, 1 hour, 15 minute, 40 second mark, the pinned unit should be under trenches, so it should have been pinned under cover. Right, this was the mortar spotter that was here and was pinned, and that's on the other side of this card. Oh, that's kind of a bit. It's not really sitting well. That's because I've laminated it, I suppose. Maybe I need to try and lay it under some books or something. So I think the result we took was pinned, not under cover, but because he was under trenches, because he should have been under trenches, it was pinned under cover. However, the results again were fortunately still the same. It was both a rally action. We drew a 4 out of 5 there. However, when I looked at the 4 column, the D4 column, it was a 3. So the result was the same. So whether they can do it that way or not. But so luckily there. And then the last one, when we were checking for in the combat for the squad up here, he should have had a +2 result, total an NCM of +2, because again he should have been under trenches. However, I looked at the results, and fortunately again it was still the same results. It was still a hit, and then when we drew the card for the hit, we got CC and drew his 2 casualties. So that's it. That's me up to date, and it only took me 41 minutes. There you go. Dear. So I think that's everything that I need to yak about now, but that's a long time to put in this. Right, I'm going to pause just now, hang on. Okay, and that's me not even got on to watch part 6 yet, and I know part 7's a bit of a shambles, because that's the bit that I decided to try and restart things and then realise that I can get away with that, and that's a headache as well. So I'm having quite a challenge here up to now. So I want to play a bit more though this evening, so I might get a little bit, another 20 minutes into this. I will put a comment in the header about the first 40 minutes of this, just me going over things, and you can just skip by that if you so wish. I don't know where we are. I'm showing turn 5 up there, but that's what we were at the last turn, and I don't know what bit I'm in, and I've not marked anything, so I'm going to have to go and check the last video and just see where I'm at. Right, okay, I've looked back on things and I've realised I'm having an awful hard time at the moment. I actually had started part 8 already and I'd recorded a bit, and that's why I was confused, because I watched back in part 7 and I got stopped, and you'll see all this. And the reason I stopped here was I'd done the attack on this, done the combat result, then realised that this card, because it's on the hill, could have actually been firing at here, or in actual fact could have been firing into this hex. Oh, look, I'm away again, onto this card. And then it started, like, I then started doubting myself about when a unit activates, triggers the activation of an enemy placement. Something was telling me that it has to be firing at it. It has to target it. And I was sure this was right, but I had looked at the rules a little bit, and yeah, it's in the rules. I've not looked this up yet, guys, but I'll just, because I went and posted it on BGG in the end, my question. And the question was, hi all, I could have sworn that when playing this game previously, that when a potential contact was resolved, that the enemy unit had to target the US unit that resolved the potential contact. I can't ever find this in the rules. Can someone enlighten me, please? And this is, I could start blaming the fact I've not got the physical copy, and I couldn't look up the rule book and look for the index, or just find it. I just feel like I need the physical copy to find it easier. And it is indeed in there. Martin replies, he's got 6.11. I'll open this up in the rules in a minute. Now, I can't use my physical copy of the rules yet, because I want to wait until I put it in that binder, hoping it will come tomorrow. So I'm just going to have to use the PDF on the tablet again. So 6.1.1, opening fire. I didn't understand how I've not seen this, but anyway, opening fire. When first placed, enemy units which place a PDF/VOF will always open fire on the card which triggered its placement. 8.4.3. It's right there, and I knew it was the case, and I'm like, I think I talked about it earlier, didn't I? About, do we not have to target the actual unit that triggered that? And that's one of the main rules that was part of the game back, so I don't know why I just never found it. And then he quotes 8.4.3 as well. Enemy package placement rules. A unit which places a PDF must be placed in a position where it is able to open fire on the unit which triggered the contact. So it's right there in that rule as well, and I've never seen that. Also, he says 8.8, enemy snipers. When first placed, enemy snipers will target the units on the card which triggered them as normal. Okay, Martin, you're rubbing it in now. 8.10, enemy indirect fire spotters. When an incoming package is triggered, place an activated incoming VOF marker and target marker if applicable as per 7.16.5. I read this one before. On the same card as the unit which triggered the incoming package. Yeah, because I read that, because I remember talking about a target marker. And that is something else. It's 7.16.5. I think that's some kind of, I don't know what that is. Well, maybe I'll look at that as well. Anyways, Shania also adds, yep, that's still true. The only time it's not when the package is placed VOF, no. So if it doesn't place a VOF, in that case, it just gets put at max line of sight of the unit that triggered it. You spotted them rather than usual situation of you knowing they are there because you're being shot at. They then open fire according to 6.1.1 priorities in the cleanup phase. And then he says, and he's going brackets, and in Vietnam and Pelwu, which have special rules for placement, maybe 1 or 2 missions in Bulge 2. So I replied, okay, thanks guys. I knew I hadn't imagined that. To be honest, although I've been reading through the rulebook, I hadn't actually got to that part yet. I'm printing out the rulebook now though, so hopefully that should help me out. Yeah, to be honest, I was up to rule 8, just going into reading about the enemy, when I started actually playing the game. I mean, it's not that I've not read the rules before, but as for the new rules, that's as far as I got. It's 100 pages of rules, remember. And so I got up to rule 8, which is probably 60 pages in or something. So it wasn't just like at the beginning. It's not that I'm just blabbing my way through it, So yeah, there it is. 6.1.1, 8.4.3, if you like. It's all there. So I've now added 40 odd minutes of me yakking on here, saying this was the start of part 8 when I'd actually started part 8 already and we're here. So, well, I don't know how to splice all this together now. To be honest, it'd be better cutting this bit out that I'm discussing this now and leaving all the bits about the comments and maybe editing that a little bit and starting that for part 9, I suppose. Means you're going to see this in part 9, but I could always maybe fix that. Right, let's carry on with this then. So, well, I will go and look at the rules eventually, but I mean, it's confirmed there that it is. So my doubting was that should I be targeting this or should I be targeting this, which has clearly got the most steps. Well, no, it should be this. So we are going to go back to that and carry out the combat part on that, because that's where we were at. We had done the potential contacts, yeah, it was just this. It was firing at this assault team. And we know what the result's going to be, actually. Yeah, because we've seen that as well. So he's sitting at -2, +1. So he's sitting at a +1. No, sorry, I've not got the marker. Hang on then. Why did I not put the marker on it? Oh yeah, because he has to draw for it. So he draws for a grenade, because this is a it's a mortar squad. So it's got a G, well, a wee exclamation mark, subscript, superscript, whatever it is. So he draws 2 cards for grenade. So I've stacked the cards back, because we've done this already. So he draws 1, 2, no grenade. Okay, so no grenade. So what happens is there's a grenade miss that goes in the card. Then we go in to resolve the combat. That gives a -1. That's a +1, and he's getting a -2. So he's sitting at -2. We draw a card. A -2 is a hit. So he is hit, and the result he's a line quality unit. We draw for line, and we get a casualty again. Yeah, because I was laughing at that, thinking, again, another one. So that is now a casualty. Take that off. Do we have one here? There's one. That's a casualty. So that's fine. Then I go and remove all the exposed markers and everything else, and then decide that I've made a mistake, or I might have made a mistake here, and want to come back and fix this. So we are actually in the clean-up phase, so this would go away as well. So now, finally, we now want to see what happens to this. Well, I think we know what's going to happen. It's going to target this, isn't it? Because now we are enemies firing at cards without valid targets, they shift or cease fire. We've done the evacuate casualties. Yeah, we've done all that. So he is now, well, he can target this or he can target this. This is a closer card and it's the most steps, and I think they target most steps first anyway. So that PDF is just going to stretch out now to there. And right, there's not a VOF that goes on that then. So that's just going to happen. Does that just happen in the enemy activity segment? And is it because it's got the VG? Does that do something? Right, hang on. Well, looking at the enemy activity chart there, I suppose the first one that comes to mind is not under fire, but has a valid target. Oh, hang on. He's not going to be not under fire, is he? Yeah, because if he can see if he was spotted, Grant. Yeah, so that is the case. Right, because he's not spotted. That's the wrong card. Right. So the one I was looking at was not under fire. Right, bye. Another interruption. Yeah, was I looking at this and finding out what might happen? Because if it is not under fire but has valid target along PDF, that's what my thinking is. Now, because there's no This is a grenade attempt, this, that it makes. It's not a guaranteed, well, to be honest, it is a guaranteed miss, grenade miss, which is just as bad, I think. Yeah, we need to move this. We need to move them. This would be a better place to be. But then that can target that as well, so we're going to have to watch. But, of course, we could try and spot that guy and fire back, but we don't really need to care about where he is. And the fact that he can only fire down this line here, I just need to move stuff. The only downside, this is where my casualty collection point was, so, well. But I think I need to move this stuff out of here. Oh, I've got this potential contact here, so maybe move it into there then, and then move this into here. But I think it would be not under fire, but as a valid target along the PDF, and because it's deliberate, it would be an auto grenade attack or concentrate fire, and the fact it does grenade attack, that's what it would try and do, I think. I think. Yeah, well, you know what? We're hopefully not going to have to worry about that, and we're going to move things off the card. Because the thing is, though, he's going to... Oh, no, we can move first, can't we? Yeah, we can. Okay. Well, you know what? That's a turn over anyway. We've moved... That was the end of the turn, wasn't it? And I think we've done all the clean-up. And that's us adjusted the PDF. Now, there's no VOF that goes there. Yeah, I mean, I don't think so. I mean, he's just got a G on his thing. He doesn't have the S with the wee G as if it was small arms. So I think it's only... Is that right, though? Is it right? You can have PDFs without a VOF at the end? Well, maybe. Maybe that's okay. Yeah, okay, I'm going to leave it like that. Hopefully that is right. And activity levels, well, it does mean that we don't have... yeah, well, to be honest, we were sitting at contact anyway. I think it's still going to be contact. Because remember, we have confirmed now that when that comes into play, it means you're never going to get away from contact the whole mission. So that's what we're at. We're still at contact. Right, okay. So I can move on to round 6, turn 6. So starting to get near the end. Remember, we've only got 10, but 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. To be honest, that's just halfway through. And we're doing fine. We don't really need to care about that mortar. Just get out of his line of sight, basically. And you can see, because he's in the card that he's in, he can only fire down this diagonal row. So, yeah, I just need to move my guys out the way accordingly. Right, well, this video is at 55 minutes, but what I might try and do is just patch this up with the other bit that I've done. I might need to cut and paste a little bit or something. I'm not sure, because I'd forgot I'd started part 8. I forgot I'd done it. So I'll work something out anyway. And I want to come back and get another bit started, so I'm going to get part 9 started. So I'll get this copied across and I'll come back and do that. So I'll be back shortly. Okay, cheers.